Đurađ Balšić, also known as Đurađ I, was the Lord of Zeta between 1362 and 13 January 1378. He was the eldest of the three sons of Balša I, and belonged to the Balšić family. Reign. He was the eldest son of Balša, a petty nobleman that held one village during the rule of Emperor Dušan the Mighty, who was said to be kin to Nemanja. The family started taking Lower Zeta sometime following the death of Dušan in 1355. In 1362 they murdered Đurađ, who was head of Upper Zeta. The Balšići are henceforth recognized as Oblast I Gospodari of Zeta, as evident in charters of the week. Campaign against Carlothopia. In 1363, Đurađ declared war against the Thopias, an Albanian noble family which controlled northern Albania. The Matarangos, an Albanian noble family which controlled southern Albania, were allied with the Balšićs as a result of a quarrel with the Thopias in the south. In the spring of 1364, Carlothopia took Đurađ captive due to a skirmish, ending Zetan involvement in the war. Đurađ was held captive until 1366, when Republic of Ragusa mediated peace and procured his release. In January 1368, a Ragusan document reported that the three Balšić brothers, Strasimir, Đurađ and Balša II, were preparing for a campaign against Carlothopia. They were camped on the Mati River, of which Carlo's lands lay south of. The fighting was apparently small-scale, as 2 months later, Carlo had no difficulty capturing Đurađ from the Angevins. Siege of Kota. Hoping to acquire suzerainty over the town, Đurađ had waged war against Kota in 1368. Kota, as a result of warfare, was suffering economic decline. Accepting Zetan rule wasn't going to aid Kota economically either. Kota resisted Đurađ's assault after seeing the town of Bar paying an annual tribute of 2,000 ducats to Đurađ, previously paying 100 purpers under Serbian imperial rule. Expecting the same fate for Kota, Kota sought aid from Nikola Altomanović, but after his major defeat in Kosovo, he could provide little assistance. Kota sought aid from the weak Emperor V and Venice. Neither provided much help, as Venice was concerned that only the warships were on the Adriatic. In fact, Venice wrote to Tsar V in 1368, complaining that Serbia's armed ships were on the Adriatic, citing Bar, but Fernando Ulcinj to have them. They had also stated that this was also a violation of the Venetian-Serbian treaty and threatened to treat the ships as pirate vessels. However, replied to that letter, stating that those ships that Venice were complaining about belonged to Đurađ I Balšić, the Lord of Zeta. Was unhappy with Đurađ's actions, as they were directed against Kota, which was under suzerainty. Concluding that Đurađ was a rebel, the Serbian court claimed no responsibility for Đurađ's actions that might violate the Venetian-Serbian treaty. In 1369, Đurađ laid siege to Kota, which, having no choice, turned to the Kingdom of Hungary for support and sought for Hungarian suzerainty. Hungary sent a nobleman from Zadar to hold Kota. This action only increased Kota's troubles, as it lost its trade privileges with Serbia for a time, causing a larger economic turmoil for Kota. By spring 1370, probably through Venetian mediation, Đurađ had made peace with Kota. However, in the same year, Nikola Altomanović attacked Kota. Campaign against Nikola Altomanović in 1371, Đurađ announced to the Republic of Ragusa that he, Vukašin Mrnjavčević and his son, Marko, along with their armies, were in Scutari, preparing an attack on Nikola Altomanović. Ragusa assisted the campaign by providing ships to transport men and supplies. Since the campaign campaign was in Ragus's interest. However, the campaign never took place as Vukašin and Marko went to aid Vukašin's brother, Jorvand Uglješa, in a campaign against the Turks, which ended up in total disaster, Vukašin and Uglješa and their army being wiped out in the Battle of Maritsa. Serbian Prince Lazar Rebuljanović and Bosnian Banti Vrtkoi allied themselves to defeat Nikola Altomanović. Desperate for a strong ally, Altomanović began negotiations with Đurađ. Most historians agree that in concluding negotiations, Đurađ gained the towns of Trebinje, Konaval and Dračevica from Altomanović, possibly a bribe to remain neutral within the war. Other historians, however, follow Mavro Orbini's account and argue that Đurađ never concluded such an agreement, rather conquered the towns he gained from the agreement himself after Altomanović was defeated in 1373. Edict. On the 30th of November 1373 or 1375 the Balšić brothers issued an edict in the Republic of Ragusa that confirmed the laws of Emperor Đurađ V of the Serbian Nemanjić dynasty and gave privileges to Ragusan traders, including imposed taxes. It also included a unique clause, recognizing the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Serbian Empire despite being without an emperor for years and any form of strong, centralized authority. A note that if anyone would become the new sovereign emperor of the Serbs and the Serbian nobility and lands, all the points shall be transferred from the Balšić to him. Đurađ I's Logotet Vitko was the witness, as well as Dragoš Kosačić. The collectivity of the family of the Balšić marked this unique feudal system applied to the domain. Rivalry with Prince Marko. After the Battle of Maritsa, Marko, the son of Vukašin Mrnjavčević, was crowned king and gained his father's lands. However, his friendship with the Balšić soon crumbled. This was a result of Đurađ, in 1371, expelling his first wife Olivera, Marko's sister, and took Prizren from Marko. Lazar Rebuljanović, Prince of Moravia and Serbia, conquered Pristina in the same year. Đurađ took Peć a year later, stripping most of Marko's lands north of Sar Mountain. Death. Đurađ I died on the 13th of January 1378 in Skadar. However, recent studies now conclude that Đurađ died in 1379 rather than in 1378. The rule of Zeta was passed down to his younger brother, Balša II. Đurađ's death caused quite a stir between Zeta's neighbors. Bosnian Banti Vrtkoi annexed Đurađ's territories bordering Dubrovnik in 1377, along with the remainder of Đurađ's coastal lands between the Bay of Kota and the land previously annexed in 1377 at the time of his death. Vrtkoi secured these possessions through Đurađ's death, free of worry of any counterattack. Vuk Branković also took this opportunity to gain Đurađ's land. Branković sent his forces into Metohija and seized Prizren, along with the rest of Đurađ's holdings in the region. Titles: Gospodin, Baron of Maritime Serbia, 1367. Family: Đurađ I was married to two women, Olivera Mrnjavčević before 1364 and Teodora Dejanović after 1371. He had the following issue: Jelisaveta, Gojslava, married Radić Sanković, Lord of Nevesinje, Popovo-Polja and Konavli. Jevdokia, married to Isorda Buondelmonte, despot of Epirus. Constantine, local Zetan lord. Đurađ, his son Stefan Stresbalšić married Vlajka Kastrioti and had two sons, Ivan and Goka, who in 1444 were among the founders of the League of Lets.